although I feel myself unqualified to speak on Srimati Radharani. It's a very exalted topic, but still, for the pleasure of our Lordships, Shri Shri Radha, Radhakanta and Shri Shri Gaurnitai, I will try to say something. Since we are already about 12:50, and we also had very nice kirtan today, so I'm going to skip singing the Jaya Radha Madhava so that I can, finish on time at 1:30. So, Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 4, text 56, in the purport, he gives a very nice description, very comprehensive description of who is Radharani in short. So I would like to read that. And those who you have a smartphone or any smart device, if you want to follow along, it's Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi, chapter 4, text 56. Radha Krishna ek atma dui deho dhari anonne bilashe ras ashradan kori. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation: Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Purport: the true transcendentalist Radha and Krishna are a puzzle to materialists. The above description of Radha and Krishna from the diary of Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami is a condensed explanation, but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. One is enjoying in two. Sri Krishna is a potent factor and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They are identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other any more than we can separate fire from heat. Everything in the absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Chaitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. In fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Krishna, of Sri Krishna, and she eternally intensified the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Mahabhagavat devotee. The very name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavan therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as loving servitors of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approaches the fallen conditioned souls of the iron age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationship with the Lord. The activities of Lord Chaitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge and bliss in full. His internal potency is exhibited first as Sat or existence, or in other words, as a portion that expands the existence function of the Lord. When the same potency displays full knowledge, it is called Chit or Sambit, which expands the transcendental forms of the Lord. Finally, when the same potency plays as a pleasure-giving medium, it is known as Ladini, or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus the Lord manifests his internal potency in three transcendental divisions. So Prabhupada in the purport gives very, very condensed and very comprehensive and condensed at the same time, that who is Radharani? She is the Lahini Shakti of Sri Krishna. So now, Prabhupada, in his childhood, his father used to invite many saintly persons at his home, and he would serve them, he would feed them with prasadam and serve them, and his father actually would request them to bless Srila Prabhupada, young Abhayacharan, to become a devotee of Radharani. And of course Prabhupada, by establishing ISKCON and spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world, he fulfilled that. Actually Prabhupada's wife's name was also Radharani, but her understanding of Krishna consciousness was different than that of Prabhupada. So Radharani's name appears in different Vedas, Upanishads and Puranas. So, if we read our three main scriptures that we read in ISKCON, in Krishna consciousness, is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Radharani is not mentioned in the shlokas, except for Prabhupada, of course, in the Mangalacharya. Prabhupada gives the pranam mantra of Radharani, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sukadevi, Pranami Hari. But except for that, there is no mention of Radharani. And then in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, we get some. In the Sanskrit shlokas, there is no mention of Radharani. It's only in the purport. We see that, and from the understanding of the acharyas who gave the purports, Vishwanath Chakravarti and others, that we understand that this gopi, she said this, so she must be Radharani. So there is also no direct mention of Srimati Radharani in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the reason is that her activities and her name are so confidential, because if her information is given in any scripture, then maybe people might misunderstand her. And then in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is explicit mention of Radharani. There are many texts. Chapter 4, where it's given the internal reason of appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is a lot of verses and other throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if you see, if anyone wants to read this scripture on a systematic manner, they are recommended to read Bhagavad Gita first, then Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And through this series of reading, one can understand who Radharani is. So Ra and Radharani name, the Radha name, there is two syllables, Ra and Dha. So her name is related to how she actually appeared in the Golok Vrindavan. So the Ra word is a short of Rasa Mandala, where actually she appeared in Golok Vrindavan, this place called Rasa Mandala in Golok Vrindavan. And Dha is a short form of Dhadamana or running. So just after Radharani appeared in Golok Vrindavan, she immediately ran to serve Lord Krishna by picking flower. She immediately went to pick flower. And Dhadamana means running. Dhadamana, Sanskrit word, its meaning is running. So she ran immediately to serve Lord with picking flowers. So these two, Ra and Dha. So she got her name Radha. And we know that in many ISKCON temples and other temples, they do the Pushpa Abhishek, The Radharani, when she appeared, she ran to get Pushpa or flower for Lord Krishna. So on Radharani's day, Radhastami, we try to reciprocate that as a devotee, We try to appreciate that by doing flower abhishek, depending on how opulent a temple is and stuff like that. So, in the book Narada Pancharatra, which we use, from which we get all these vidhis, all these rules and regulations, how to do deity worship, in Narada Pancharatra, there are several chapters on the glories of Srimati Radharani. And there is chapters like, there is 1000 name of Radharani. Like, there is 1000 name of Lord Krishna, Balaram. So there is also 1000 name of Radharani. There is one chapter. And there is one chapter called on Radha Kavacha. And there is more. There is at least 5 or 6 chapters in Narada Pancharatra glorifying Radharani. And Radharani, I would like to talk a little bit on, since it's the appearance of Radharani. So I would like to talk about Radharani's birth pastime in this earth planet. Now there are a few different stories and how Radharani appeared. And the Acharyas, they basically explain it that it happened in different yugas, different kalpas it happened. So, while I was doing research for, preparing for this class, I came across different stories also. But I picked up the one that Dinabandhu Prabhu, he wrote in the book called Brajalila, and you know that Dinabandhu Prabhu he was born in Los Angeles, but he is a Brajabasi, If you wake up in the night, if you wake him up in the night and ask him about Vrindavan, he will be able to tell you. So I picked up the story that he gave in his book. So it's so there was two personalities, Sucharu and Kalavati. They were basically Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida in their previous life. So Prince Sucharu married Princess Kalavati, and right after the marriage, what people usually do? They go for no married person here? Honeymoon. Okay, thank you. But what they did was, they did not go for honeymoon. They directly entered the Vanaprastha. So they went to the forest and they started doing austerities and penances, and they did it for thousands and thousands of years. And then after that, Lord Brahma appears. Lord Brahma says that, okay, what do you want? Now Lord Brahma has experience of people doing this kind of austerities, like Hiranyakashipu. He did this kind of austerities, and then he asked for, so that he doesn't die, although he didn't get that much. But then they asked for more service, They asked, Sucharu and Kalavati, they said, we want more service. That's the boon they wanted. So Lord Brahma was a little bit shocked. He was not expecting it based on his experience. So I said, okay, so what I'm going to do is, so Radharani, she will appear in this earth planet, she will be your daughter. So that was the benediction he gave as a service. And actually when you chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it's actually asking for service, So when we chant, and if we get more service, if more service is coming to us, that means the chanting is effective. If the service is going away, means there is some offense in the chanting. So that's an indication. So Radharani, so in the next life, Sucharu and Kalavati, they appear as Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Sundari. And so Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, they already have one son named Sridham. And Sridham, and then on the Radhastami day, in the month of Bhadra, in the bright fortnight, on the Ashtami Tithi, Vrishabhanu Maharaj was there by the Yamuna river, and then 1,000 petals, golden 1,000 petal lotus flower appeared there, bigger than a usual lotus flower that we see. And then on top of the lotus flower, Radharani is sleeping on that, her eyes is closed. And this is a monsoon season in India. It's one of the Chaturmas, 4 months of the rainy season. And the waves in Yamuna is very high, so Vrishabhanu could not managed to get the flower, and then on which Radharani was sleeping. So Lord Brahma appeared personally, and he picked up the flower and handed it to Vrishabhanu Maharaj. And then Vrishabhanu Maharaj comes home with baby Radharani and calls Kirtida that, oh, see what I have received, Radharani, we have received Radharani. And so this is happening at a place called Rawal in Vrindavan. And in the Rawal there is a temple where there is a deity of Radharani, crawling Radharani. Usually we worship Radharani in her Kishori form, in 13, 14 years age. But that's the only temple in the world where Radharani Murti is. She is a crawling. It still exists. So they are very happy. They are very happy to get Radharani, but Radharani's eyes was very closed. Her eyes was not open. So in the meantime, Narad Muni, she is a transcendental spaceman. He is a transcendental spaceman, and he doesn't need visa, passport, travel ticket, or approval from TSA. So he appears. From the astrological calculation, he already knew that Radharani had appeared at this place. So he comes and he wants to have a darshan of Radharani. And so when he came, he asked, so Vrishabhanu Maharaj says that, okay, how can I serve you, and so on. And he says, okay, do you have any child? So I want to see your child, your children or child. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj says, yeah, I have one son, and he calls Sridham. And so Narad Muni is a little disappointed because he wanted to have darshan of Radharani. So he says that, well, are you sure you have only one child? There is no more? So he said, no, that's it, But after some time, because Vrishabhanu Maharaj, he didn't want to show Radharani because Radharani's eyes was closed and they thought she's blind. But then after some time, Vrishabhanu Maharaj thought that, okay, he's Narad Muni, he's an exalted person, so I should not lie. So he said, well, I have a daughter, but she is blind, so I didn't want to show you. So Narad Muni was in ecstasy, just by hearing that, because he would be able to see Radharani. So Radharani said, please, bring her, I want to see her. So Radharani comes, and then so Vrishabhanu Maharaj says, well, I didn't want to show her because she is blind. So Narad Muni says, okay, I will give you, I know how to correct her blindness, so I will give you some formula. So Narad Muni says, okay, so Narad Muni gives a list of the preparations he should, Vrishabhanu and Kirtida should make, and then he said, you invite Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda and Krishna to visit, and then you will see that she will get her eyesight. And so Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, and Narad Muni makes sure he mentions some items that would not be available at Vrishabhanu Maharaj's house. So they had to go to market, in a bazaar to buy those items. So so they went, both, and Kirtida became busy in cooking. So Radharani, the baby Radharani, she was smiling. She said, what do you want, said to Narad Muni, because they are the only two persons in the room. So Narad Muni said, I want to see your Kishori form, your 13, 14 year age old form. And Radharani says, so be it. So Radharani showed that form to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni is in great ecstasy just after seeing that. And then in the meantime, the food was ready, and then also they invited Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda and Krishna. They all came. And Vrishabhanu, he started speaking with Nanda Maharaj, Kirtida, Sundari, was speaking with Mother Yashoda, and Krishna, Krishna was 1 year old, that time. If you want to be exact, then 1 year, 14 or 15 days. So Krishna came, and usually we see that babies, if they see another baby, they want to touch the baby. So Krishna touched Radharani, and just by that touch, Radharani opened her eyes. And Vrishabhanu and Kirtida became very happy. So that's So Radharani actually had said to Krishna in the Golok Vrindavan that until you meet me, I'm not going to open my eyes. So that's why she didn't open her eyes till that point. So Radharani, so anyone can tell me how many qualities Radharani had? 25. That's a tricky question. Radharani, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says Radharani had infinite number of qualities, but 25 principal qualities. So 25 principal qualities she has, and she has one quality is called Karuna Purna. She is full of mercy. So when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we actually, Hare is the vocative form for Radharani. So we basically ask for Radharani's recommendation to Krishna. And in Hare Krishna Maha Mantra there is 16 words, and out of that 8 is Radharani, So we take shelter of Radharani more than anyone else through chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So she is full of mercy. She is Karuna Purna. Another of the principal qualities she has is called Patava Anvita. She is expert in performing her duties. She is very expert in what she does. So one of the expertise she shows in the Leelas is she is very expert in cooking. So we are a kitchen religion after all. Hare Krishna is a kitchen religion. So Radharani is in charge of the kitchen. So in the kitchen we always say that it's Radharani's kitchen. And Radharani is in charge of cooking, and we are just simply assisting her to cook. And then the most important probably is called Mahabhava, and that's how, and this is translated as situated at the topmost level of ecstatic love. And through that Mahabhava, she keeps Krishna under her control. Now, Radharani, she is very, of course, she is very expert in cooking, but how she became expert, there is a backstory. So, once Durvasa Muni, she came in Barsana. So Radharani appeared in Rawal, but soon after Vrishabhanu Maharaj moved his capital to Barsana. Like Nanda Maharaj, he was originally in Gokul, but then later he moved to Nandagram. So they were in Barsana, and she was playing with her Sakhis, and Durvasa Muni appeared, and that was the day after the Ekadashi, Dadosi Tithi, breakfast time. So Durvasa Muni usually appears like that, and that these Sakhis, they already knew about Durvasa Muni, so they all ran away, they're scared and they ran away, because Durvasa Muni, if he asks something and if they cannot deliver, then they are in trouble, they will get cursed. But Radharani was there, and so Durvasa Muni comes and says that, okay, I would like to eat sweet rice from you. Cook some sweet rice, and I want to eat that. I want to break my fasting by doing that. Now Radharani says, okay. And Radharani goes, and she goes to prepare the sweet rice. And so who here has made sweet rice ever in their life? Anyone want to make sweet rice in future? So there is the recipe, that Radharani, not the recipe, we just have the ingredients, from the book. So Radharani used nicely scented rice, milk, and if you want to note it down, I don't mind, Nicely scented rice, milk, sugar, tej patas, means bay leaves, resin. I'm not sure why resin was used, but I'm not sure, but it's listed here. Elaichi, cardamom, camphor, and other things. And these other things include Krishna praying, some secret things. So Radharani basically prepares this very nice, delicious sweet rice, and Durvasa Muni eats it, and he He likes it so much. So he said, okay, I am giving you a boon that whatever you cook would taste like nectar, and then whoever eats them will become very strong, become very beautiful, all those opulences you would get. So Mother Yashoda, she came to know about this story, that Radharani got a boon. And so she actually begged Mother Kirtida to let Radharani cook in Mother Rohini's kitchen, So Radharani cooked in Mother Rohini's kitchen, and Krishna, got food, prasadam from there, got food from there. And later when Radharani was even married, Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, she begged Jatila, her mother-in-law, that to continue that service. So now, so Radharani, and this song that is sung in many ISKCON temples, that Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Gaura Hari, is a song that is sung when the Krishna is offered the Raj Bhoga. And in that also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions one of the items is the sweet rice. And also we have sweet rice also as prasadam. So another maybe 15 minutes to get it. Okay. So this sweet rice is very famous, Radharani's sweet rice. So there is also another story where Rupa Goswami, once Sanatana Goswami visited Rupa Goswami's bhajan kuti, and Rupa Goswami wanted to offer him some sweet rice, but he didn't have any ingredients. He was just doing his bhajan, and he didn't have rice, sugar, or milk, any ingredients. So, but he wanted to do that. So Radharani personally appeared, and she cooked the sweet rice, and then offered to Krishna, and then actually the Govinda deity, I think, and then one the deity that Rupa Goswami was serving during that time, and then offered it to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami, just after on the first bite, he was in ecstasy. So he said, "Who cooked this? This sweet rice?" So Rupa Goswami said, "Well, small child, a small daughter, a small girl, she appeared, and she actually brought all the ingredients and she cooked." So both the brothers, they understood that it's Srimati Radharani who actually cooked that sweet rice. And Sanatana Goswami said that Rupa Goswami, we should never take service like this, we should serve Radharani. But the sweet rice was so delicious, they said, okay, we're gonna, Sanatana Goswami is chastising Rupa Goswami, but in the meantime, both brothers are eating it. Anyway. And another time, Rupa Goswami actually wrote a Radhastami called Sri Chatu Pushpanjali, and where he mentioned, Rupa Goswami mentioned that Radharani's hair is like a hood of a serpent. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he was reading this, and he had some doubt that how is it correct to say that Radharani's hair is like a venomous serpent, a snake. So he had some doubt. So he was doing. So Raghunath Das Goswami used to do his bhajan by the Radha Kunda, and he also excavated and renovated Radha Kunda. So on a Shravan Purnima night, he was doing this bhajan, and he saw a young girl. She is swinging on a swing, and then some other, other girls are swinging her, and the hair around the area where there is the hair is there, it looked like a serpent is crawling on that curve, like towards the head area. So he came out immediately and he said, "Oh, foolish girl, don't you see that a serpent, a cobra is climbing through your body and going towards the area of your head? You may die." And then Radharani and she just looks at Raghunath Das Goswami, and she smiles, and then immediately after that she disappeared. And from that, Raghunath Das Goswami understand that the description of Radharani's hair that given by Rupa Goswami was correct. So once Krishna actually told Radharani that you are the most superior person in the Vrindavan Dham, you are the Vrindavaneshwari. So in Radharani's Pranamanta, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. So she is the Vrindavaneshwari, she is the queen of Vrindavan. So Krishna said that you are the queen of Vrindavan and you are even exalted than my mother Yashoda. So Yashoda Mata, she is also known as Vrindavaneshwari. But so Krishna said that, and Radharani said that, and Krishna actually in the book there is a whole paragraph, that what Krishna said to Radharani. He said a lot of things, and then said that you are even greater than Yashomati. You are the chief among the Gopanganas, and you are even greater than Yashomati. So Radharani said that Yashoda Ma is your mother. How can you say that I am greater than her? What is the reason? So Krishna says that, okay, I will prove you. I will do something. I will prove that you are even greater than her. And even she will come. She will touch your feet and she will beg you for something. So Radharani said, okay, let's see what happens. So one day, Radharani is with her Sakhis and Krishna is dancing, around the evening time. So Yashoda Mata, she appears in that area and she said that my Krishna is all the day he is herding the cows, and now he's in the evening he is tired. So and you girls, you don't have any intelligence. You are making him work so hard by making him dance. It's not proper. So the Sakhi said, well, this is not your Krishna. This is a different. His name is also Krishna, but his different personality than your Krishna. So Radharani said, but he looks like same color, same blue, and same height, same physique. So how that is possible? So the Sakhi said, there could be two persons by the same name. You go home and you check at your home, and if you check at your home, you will see that Krishna is sleeping there, because after doing the cow herding, he is tired and he is sleeping at home. So Yashoda Ma, she goes home and she sees that, okay, Krishna is sleeping. So she is now bewildered, think two Krishnas. So she comes back and she says that it's very unusual that two persons, same name I understand, but all features are same. So let's do one thing. Let's make these two Krishnas dance together. Let's do that. And so now Radharani says that, okay, that's all right, but if in case if two Krishnas are dancing together, then how we understand that who is whose Krishna, who is my Krishna and who is your Krishna? There could be a confusion, So Yashoda Ma says that even there is an extent, what is the problem? Because it's after all they are Krishna, same characteristics, Even if you get my Krishna, I get your Krishna, no problem, it's the same Krishna. So but Radharani says, well, my Krishna is special. Because my Krishna, he even gave some knowledge to Brahma, and he knows about the Prema Tattva, he knows about the transcendental love, but your Krishna doesn't know about those things. So Yashoda Ma, she becomes now angry. She said, well, maybe my Krishna doesn't know about the transcendental loving things, but he killed Putana when he was only 3 days old. He killed the cart demon, Shatakasur, and he also killed the tornado demon, this Trinavartasur. So he is also great, don't underestimate him. So as I said, well, if we discuss this way, we might end up in a big fight. So let's do one thing. Let me put a sandalwood pulp, sandalwood paste dot on my Krishna's head, so that we know whose Krishna is whose, and then later there is no confusion, no fighting, no problem. So then she puts a mark of sandalwood paste on Krishna's forehead. So now all of them, they comes to Yashoda Mata's house, and these two Krishnas dancing now. And then after and the dance becomes very ecstatic. And at one point, Yashoda Mata's Krishna, he merges into Radharani's Krishna. So there is now only one Krishna. Only Radharani's Krishna is there. Yashoda Mata's Krishna disappears because merged into the Radharani's Krishna. And Yashoda Mata, after some time, she comes and she says that, well, where is my Krishna? She's very upset and she said, where did my Krishna go? So Radharani says, I don't know, where is your Krishna? You figure out where is your Krishna, I don't know about that. So Yashoda Mata says that, well, Radha, I know you know many tricks, you know many tricks, you know many magic, you know some black magic, so you must have done something. So please give me my Krishna back. I beg you, please give me my Krishna back. So Radharani said, I don't know where is your Krishna. I don't know. So Yashoda said, no, please, you bring my Krishna back, otherwise I will leave my body. I will die now. So Radharani is now in problem. Radharani said, okay, please don't touch my feet because you are proper according to Vedic way. Older person should not touch, and you are also my elder person. You should not touch my feet because I will get sinful reaction. Please don't do that. And then after that, Yashoda she faints and looks like almost she will die. So Radharani says to Krishna, see, your mother just touched my feet and now she is almost dying. So please do something about it. Why you don't do anything? Why you are smiling? What kind of son are you are? And Krishna said, well, I know my mother. She's not gonna die. She's just like that. So you will be okay. Just tell her that her Krishna is sleeping in the room. So Radharani says to Mother Yashoda that, your Krishna become very tired after dancing with my Krishna, right? That my Krishna, now you go and check in your room that your Krishna is actually sleeping. So Yashoda goes inside the house and then sees that her Krishna is sleeping, and she's okay. So through this pastime, and then Krishna says, okay, I told you that I will prove that you are Vrindavaneshwari. My mother will even come and beg you for something, and she will also touch your feet. So there are, so maybe I can tell one more story because time is running out. So there was once a poor Brahmana, and he had a daughter whom he could not get married because in those days it was customary to pay a dowry. The dowry, its original idea was that when a father marries off his daughter, is some gift to the bridegroom so that they can start a new family, a family. But later it kind of became mandatory, just like anything else. With time, everything gets distorted. So he could not marry his daughter. So he basically came to Krishna. So his wife actually said, okay, I know that Krishna is very exalted person and he is a powerful person. So you go to him and ask for something, and then we can use that money or the materials to get our daughter married. So this Brahmana, he goes to Krishna and he says that, well, I'm trying to get my daughter married, but I'm not being able to. Can you please help me? So Krishna says that, well, I don't have anything. So he said, no, you have 9 lakh cows, 900,000 cows you have. How can you say you don't have anything? So I said, well, this is actually my father's cow. So this poor Brahmana tells, okay, you have this, you have that, but Krishna says that, okay, these are my father's. Then Krishna says, well, I have one thing, I have Radharani. So let me give you her. And then even before the poor Brahmana could respond, she, just like a Paka Brahmin, he took some water, Krishna took some water and just gives Radharani in charity to this poor Brahman. Now this poor Brahman is confused. He's saying, now previously I had only one daughter, now I have 2 daughters. Is it actually you are helping me or you are trying to give me trouble? What are you doing, So then when the words went to Radharani, Radharani went to know, she also didn't like it. She said, well, Krishna even did not ask me permission from me, before doing that. So, but she is very expert in everything. So she did one thing. So they basically brought a weigh machine where Radharani was put in one side of the weight machine, and then on the other side she asked her Sakhis to give the jewelries and the gems, all those things on the other side, and they basically put the same, the weight of the jewelries and gems was same as that of Radharani's weight. So in that, and they gave that, all those things to this poor Brahmana. So in that way, they did not have to give Radharani, but they gave the jewels. So in a way, it's giving Radharani in a way. And the Brahmana accepted it, and then Brahmana could get his daughter married. So I would like to read one prayer. It's called, before ending the class, it's called 8 Appeals to Srimati Radharani. And I'm going to just read the English, skipping the Sanskrit. So it's written by Srila Rupa Goswami in his book called Sri Stavamala. It's called Sri Gandharva Prarthana Ashtaka. Prarthana means prayer, Ashtaka means 8. The 8 prayers, 8 appeals to Sri Radha. So it's Rupa Goswami speaking. Please reveal the lotus faces of you both as, with the enthusiasm of 2 maddened elephants, you enjoy pastimes in the pleasure groups of Vrindavan. O Queen, please be kind to me, please be kind. Falling down like a stick on the ground, distressed and stammering with words choked with emotion, I beg you, O Queen Gandharvika. Gandharvika is another name of Radharani. Please be kind to this foolish person and count him one of your associates. O beautiful one, when shall I worship you, your intense beauty, leaving the goddess of fortune far behind, and your transcendental form bound by the left arm of Lord Shama, who churns all the worlds with his handsomeness far greater than that of Lord Narayan. O Queen, when covering you with a cape as splendid as a monsoon cloud, and removing your ankle bells from your feet, will I let happy you to a splendid forest grove at night for a meeting with the Prince of Braja. When as you, the 2 ornaments of the 3 worlds, recline on a pastime bed of flowers and enjoy pastimes of sweet joking words, will this person massage your lotus feet? This person means is referring to himself, Rupa Goswami. He is Rupa Manjari. O Queen of Vrindavan, when the 2 of you staying under a tree by the shore of your lake and your handsome lotus faces kiss with perspiration from the fatigue of your pastimes, will I fan you both with a chamaravis. As you playfully hide in a forest cave, and Chitra hints that, now, O beautiful Idwan, you are trapped by Mukunda, and I say, don't knit your eyebrows, will I lead you, as you feign anger, into a presence of the Prince of Braja. And the last one, when will I see you after defeating the Prince of Braja in a playful verbal duel, intoxicated with happiness and speaking many proud words, you are elaborately praised by your blossoming friends. And there is one more, basically those who stayed till now, there is a blessing, there is a benediction. Whatever surrendered devotee reads these 8 appeals to the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, she, along with her beloved, Sri Krishna, happily splashes with waves of mercy. So you will all got some waves of mercy.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to end here. Radhastami ki jai, Radharani ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.